Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us. We are gonna just take a few minutes and let people kind of start to filter in. So thank you guys for being here. If you're joining us for the first time today, this is a merchant or vendor, as we used to like to call you guys, Zoom. So if you've noticed in the recent kind of weeks to months, we've started to try to refer to you guys as merchants now, or your store or your brand. And that's to kind of be a little bit more in alignment with the Shopify terminology. We used to call you guys vendors because that's what you are in our system. But as we've created this tech integration with Shopify, we've tried to align the phrasing so that it's similar so that you guys didn't have different terminology in different ecosystems. So if you hear us say vendors, we mean merchants. And if you hear us say merchants and you don't know what that means, it means vendors. So it's a universal kind of swapping out now that we're over here. So if you guys are here and you don't have a whole lot of history, or you haven't been up to speed on everything that's been kind of going on with Shoply 2.0 now into 3.0, is we now have a Shopify tech integration. And what that means is we have essentially moved everything over and built on the rails of Shopify, which allow it to be a much more seamless integration for you guys as merchants, as vendors, to be able to integrate in Shoply to your existing Shopify stores. So to start off with today, we're going to kind of maybe qualify a few things to make sure that you have a Shopify store. There's a few things that are kind of taken care of before we get going. If you don't have a Shopify store, that's absolutely okay. You're welcome to sit on and watch the process and kind of learn as you go. Just know that that will have to be your first stop along the way before you can integrate and get started and everything like that. And as we're kind of going forward, the best way to think about this is that it's almost like two separate systems, even though we have the ability to help you port over and bring all of your existing products over. If you can think of it as kind of like one company is somewhat finishing and then another one is starting from a software perspective, that might be the easiest way rather than like, well, what integrates with one another? Just think of it as like one's ending and then this one is beginning. It might help make things a lot more simple and clean for you. And It looks like we've kind of gotten some people along the way. Our Q&A is open, so if you have any questions along the way, please put them in there. We will keep the thread open, and any questions that we can't answer, we will definitely get an answer for you. And either put them into the vendor channel or put them into an FAQ and some kind of an email that goes out to you guys, and make sure that we get the answers for you. But before I continue on any further, I'll go ahead and kick it over to Rachel. She has been really spearheading kind of the vendor and merchant integration and switch over and cut over from the 2.0 system. So she will be the face and the person that will also be working with another girl named Kristen that will be helping you guys. So the two of them in conjunction will be your main go-tos in terms of all things vendor and merchant in the future kind of months and weeks coming forward. So I'm going to kick it over to her to help kind of walk you guys through this process and give you guys all the information. So Rachel, over to you.
Thank you, Stace. Hi, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. Stacey's kind of set the tone of our call for this morning, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to each and every one of you just to say thank you for your patience and thank you for sticking with us during the 2.0 journey. We know at times, things weren't easy, but what has been incredibly exciting about 3.0 and this process is the simplicity of when you have a Shopify store and when we integrate you into Shoply. We've been through the process a few times now. It is still very new, so I ask you to be patient with me. I think this is probably the second time I've stepped through it from front to back. So what we wanted to do today was, rather than just show you screenshots of how things go or a video of how things are going, we wanted to get you into our live system that has just switched live, so we can step you through a real sign up, a vendor that has a Shopify store, and we are moving you into Shoply store. So when we are doing a live demo, things can pop up. We may have some errors and some issues, but we've got tech on standby in the background to be able to check that out. But I think what was really important for us is to ensure that, as our pioneers and as our 2.0 merchants, the terminology there, Stace, I'm getting stuck on that one too. It was important for us to ensure that you guys had seen this first before we switch live to everyone else. You've been patient with us. We really have been a team during this process. So, it was really important to us that we showcase this to you first, and then we can officially launch it. So bear in mind here that yes, today we are now in a live environment, but we don't open the actual store to October 15th. And the reason for that is so we've still got that buffer and some time there to fix any issues that pop up as we're onboarding, our 2.0 pioneers and any new vendors, because we'd be silly to think that as much as we've tested this, that there is going to be no issues. I don't think I've ever been involved in the launch of any company where there hasn't been a few little tech things go wrong. So what we are going to do today is we have Mike Craig. You will have all seen him on our strategy sessions. And he is going to share his screen, and we are going to step you through live him connecting his Shopify store into our Shoply, using our Shoply app. So let's get started. What I'm going to ask you to do first, Mike, and it's important for each and every one of you out there on the line, is when you're going through this process, make sure that you have your another browser opened or another page opened and be logged into your Shopify store, because we will be having to pull some information, and when the connection happens, it's a much smoother process when you've already logged in. So step one there, Mike, if you don't mind sharing your screen and we can get started.
Very good. Can you see it?
I can see it. So one thing there, I've got a couple of messages saying the chat is disabled. It's the Q&A that we're using here. So if you've got any questions or anything along those lines, head into the Q&A, and that's where questions will be answered. So this here is the website that you will have to put in when you are looking at doing this integration. So you can see at the top of Mike's browser there, it is merchants.shoply.com. For now, merchant.shoply.com will also work, just because we know that some people may put merchant and some people may put merchants. So the important part here is when you put in merchant.shoply.com, to make sure that you are being assigned to where you should be, it'll be after the .com, it'll be /web alias. And that web alias is the person that is bringing the store on board. So you can see where Mike is typing here. The person that is onboarding Mike's store is shop here. That's their web alias, or their what do we actually call that in the system, Stace? That's called their...
I think it's actually web alias in the system. We referred to it a couple times as referral ID.
Referral ID, that's right. I have seen
Might have
that
seen
in
it
the
both
email.
ways.
So yeah, that'll be the referral ID or the web alias of the person that is bringing that store on. So once we put that in, we hit enter, and it'll load this register as a merchant. So Mike has already got his Shopify store open and logged into in another browser. So the next step from here is for him to go in and enter his details. So if you just want to step through there, Mike, and just follow that through. So Mike's entering his first name and last name on the store. He's going to go in and enter his email. And then he'll enter his phone number here. And this part here is where he'll enter his Shopify store name.
Now for the Shopify store name, is this where we actually go and
It's the
rename?
Shopify store domain is where we have to go into the Shopify section. So for this part, if we just put in the store name, Mike,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
And then when we go to the next box there, the Shopify store domain, this is where you will need to go and refer to your Shopify login. So there is a section in there that if you go into your Shopify, to your left hand, you'll go to online stores over here on the right. And if you go down to preferences, you click on preferences there. And what that will do is that will give you your if we just scroll down there, that will give you your actual Shopify name. Some people have renamed their code, and some people will see a code that says WQ7LT. It just depends what you've done there. But sometimes in this back part here, if you have a store name and you also have those numbers, you'll see something that says primary. Always use your primary store name there. So for
Let me show
purposes,
you, Rachel, real quick, guys. Here's how you can find what she's looking at. If you go, because you'll find it there, and most likely what is listed here as I'm highlighting is what that store name is. But you can also scroll down to settings,
yes,
and
settings.
then you can pull up domains. Okay, or yeah, domains, and then
Yep, domains.
primary for online store, and it says, this one in this case under blacksky.myshopify.com. But the numbers right below that, the 62E264-2, is you may have a number like that if you didn't change your Shopify store into a name. So that would be the number, or the what you'd want to copy over as your address, so to speak.
Exactly. So let's just make sure we're using the primary one. So for Mike, that's actually the name of the store. So he will now go back to the Shoply app once he's
All right,
copied
one
that.
sec. I'm just going to copy. Just keep it simple. Back to shop. Okay, I'm going to paste that.
Okay, so I think here, Mike, we just need the under black sky and we can get rid of that last bit.
Okay.
Yep, and then what we do is we go on to enter the password and confirm the password. So Mike, if you just want to enter a password there,
Alrighty.
it'll either give you the choice to create a strong password for you, or you can create your own. I think if you just click in that box, Mike, it should allow you
Sorry. Yeah, I can
to
type
get
something
rid
in
of
here.
that and use your own password.
All right. So for the sake of putting passwords down, I'm going to go ahead and stop share on this, and I'll
Yes.
get right back.
At times through this process, guys, if Mike is entering information like a password or a credit card, we're just going to get him to unshare his screen. Once he's entered that, he will reshare his screen, and then we can continue through the process.
Okay, bear with me.
Don't forget, if you do have any questions, just put them in the Q&A and we can get those answered for you. I expect questions to probably come closer to the end.
Let's see here. Sorry, hold on. I am still figuring out passwords.
No problems, Mike.
Goodness. Okay, just so you guys know, as I'm going through this stuff, just know that you're going to have to go through the uppercase, lowercase, special characters, and a number.
And a number, yes.
Okay. So
So it'll be one of those, most passwords require that these days, where they're quite strict in the fact of there must be a special character, a number, and uppercase and lowercase.
okay. Um, All right, bear with me. Okay, so
Okay. So
that
once Mike put in that password, there was a little click box where he would have agreed and then he would have hit submit. What that does is it then takes you to the Shoply dashboard, and you can see from these little boxes across the top what it's going to do is it's going to step you through each one of these boxes. So from that initial screen, it'll throw you to this first screen. This is where you are going to have to grant permission. So authorize Shoply to access the necessary Shopify data securely. So if you scroll down there a little bit, Mike, you will see down the bottom that it's saying that it's going to view the products, it's going to view order information, published, unpublished, etc. And then it's got approve and connect. So it's as simple to go ahead and hit that approve and connect. And what that will do is that will start the connection process. So you can see there that it has now thrown you into the install the app part of Shoply. You currently right now you are still in your Shopify store. What it's asking you now is to install the app. So if you just go down to that gray bottom, the gray button there at the bottom right, it's as simple as hit install.
oh, server error.
We are seeing that pop up several times through testing, but what it always does is you can see that it's still loading and
I
it'll
see.
take you to the next level. So if you do see that server error for now, until that is fixed, please just ignore that. Let it keep loading and it'll now take you to the next step. So the next step from here is to activate the Shoply sales channel. So what you need to do here is go in and essentially continue to purchase the license. So Mike, if you hit on that gray box there, continue to license purchase, what that will do is that will take you through the fees and commissions there, and then it'll just give a little bit of an example, but as we step through the process, that will be more detailed. Stace, everyone will be supplied with that code that we've been using in the promo code to ensure that it's the $1, correct?
Yes, I believe so. Let me see if I know Jorge is on the other side waiting. Do we
Yes.
give them
He's
the one that we
saying
have,
yes.
or do they all get separate ones, Jorge? All right. While we're waiting for him to answer, there will
Same,
be
all the same.
all the same. Okay, perfect. So
Yes.
you can go ahead and say it then.
So under the billing and license section is because we're doing the $1 license for 90 days, what we'll be doing is giving you a promo code, and that promo code is early bird, all one word. So Mike, if you go in and enter early bird there, just make sure it'll come up and try and auto correct and put a space. So you'll just have to make sure that you get rid of that and hit apply. What that will do is that will discount and make sure that it is the $1 license. And then if you move on down through the process, you hit continue to license purchase. So this screen here has essentially captured the initial $1. Now what we're doing is we're moving on to the monthly license charge, which obviously won't charge for 90 days. So when the store goes live from October 15th, the first 90 days from there are free. So Mike, if you just want to go in here and approve that $1 payment.
Okay, and it's worth mentioning that $1 payment that you're making is actually done through the whatever credit card you have with Shopify.
Yes.
Okay, so it's nothing you have to do. It's
This will be
very
charged
simple.
to the card on file on your Shopify store. So Mike's just now confirming that charge, and that will take you to the next section. So this is where he's now done the license. This section takes you through the subscription. So what Mike will have to do here is hit on buy subscription. This is confirming that after the free 90 days that the subscription will kick in. So if you hit on the buy subscription there, that will take you to the next screen, and what it'll tell you here is you have the free days and when the trial is ending. So the next payment will not be due until January.
Very
So
good.
what you do there is hit approve. So essentially now you can see here that your account is activated and it's connected. In this screen down here, you'll see Shoply, you'll see the little green box there on the right saying connected, and meaning that the store has successfully connected. So the next part we do, oh wow, it's already published the products at the same time.
This is great. So all my products that are on my Shopify store are automatically populated.
Yep,
So
you're up and running.
forgive me for my surprise there, guys, but I thought there was another button there that we had to click to load the products and wait for it to load. But it appears that it's automatically syncing, which is even better. So what this here is showing is that your Shopify and your Shoply store are now connected and talking together. So what we can do from here is hit on Open Shoply Dashboard.
Okay.
And what this will do is it will
Sign into your account.
take you into your account. So if you enter your email address and password there,
Yes. Oops. There we go. This is Shoply that we're signing into, correct?
Yeah, it should be the
correct.
shop one.
Okay, so that should have
And then
worked.
the one that you did on the first screen.
The email?
Yeah, the email and the password that you did on the first screen.
Oh, that would have been okay. Sorry. So this would be, got it, my bad. Okay.
So as you can see, guys, it's a very it's very intuitive. It's very limited clicks to take you through the process. So now once you're essentially into Shoply, it'll take you now to the next step, which is payment details. So what this payment details is this is the payment details on the Shoply side of things. So the credit card that needs to be entered here is the credit card that will be used for the Shoply fees and the Shoply commissions, bearing in mind that all orders will be processed on the merchant on Shopify. So Shoply won't be processing the payment. It'll be processed on your store's end on Shopify. So this is the credit card that'll be charged from Shoply's end. So I think from here, Mike, you just have to scroll down and go through the Shoply merchant agreement. It won't let you process until you skim through that and the
Okay.
system knows that you have scrolled to the very bottom and have read that. Then
Got it.
what you do is agree and continue.
Oops. Is there a box?
Okay.
Failed to save. Is there a button or something I need to click?
No, there's nothing you should have to click there. It should just go right down the bottom. Okay.
Hit
Jorge, are you in the chat there? Can you let us know?
He said this is new. Okay,
Yeah.
close. Let's try that.
This is obviously something, guys, that in our testing has not popped up at any point in
course.
time. It's generally as simple as hit agree and continue.
Yeah, I know they were fixing the merchant agreement. I know they updated it, so I'm wondering if maybe somehow that um maybe just try it again one more time. Let's see.
Jorge's just looking into it and and will get back to us. But I have
Any other
another.
questions so far in the chat?
Yeah, there's a couple. I can go ahead and answer
Yeah.
those.
I have had a couple of vendors just message me saying that they have gone through this process earlier this morning. We had a couple of test vendors that we took through earlier today, and they were able to get through this process on their own. So this is obviously something new, guys. So apologies for this, but if you can just bear with us, we have tech on, and we can look at getting this fixed. But what we might do is have a look at the Q&A. Stace, is there any questions in there that we can assist
Yeah,
with?
a couple people asked some different questions about pricing and how it syncs, and there's obviously some things that we're still trying to work out just to figure out exactly how the system behaves. But the main thing is when you create and sync your store, if you go back into your Shopify catalog and you change like per product pricing, the product will also push through to Shoply and be reflected on Shoply. When the shopper goes on and sees the pricing, they will see the same live pricing that you have in your Shopify store if you've turned the visibility on for those particular products. There was a question about like the first order product, if they're offering like a promo, like 10% off the first order. I don't know if those push through as of now, but we will definitely find out for you guys. And the good thing is, and I think Rachel already said this is, and or Mike, is that we're getting you guys in to start this process to figure out, all the little idiosyncrasies and things that we have to do to make sure that we're set and you guys know exactly how to offer the promos and things like that. So I would assume it will pull those system-wide kind of offers that you have in Shopify as well, but we'll verify all of those things 100% for you guys and make sure we have the answer for you. Your products, your descriptions, the pictures, all of those things you don't have to enter in. So if for those of you that have built a store in the Shoply 2.0 ecosystem, you guys did double the work. And so luckily from this point forward, if you already have a Shopify store, you won't have to do any of that stuff again, which is amazing news for you guys, although you did already spend some of that time. So at least moving forward, it'll be much easier and cleaner for you guys to update.
Absolutely. And I do see a question there about if I'm doing a Black Friday sale on Shopify, does it automatically happen on Shoply? That is absolutely the plan, that whatever you are running on your Shopify store, it will automatically be updated and done on your Shoply store.
Now, if you've got products on Shopify that you don't actually want on Shoply, you'll be able to deselect those products. Let's say maybe you've got a product on there that your margins is too thin, or whatever the case may be, and you don't want to have that available on the Shoply side. You can just check the box, and then that way you won't end up stressing out about those products being ported over.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's a good point, Mike. And we will show you that once we get past this little hiccup where you can do that. So we're still getting that little hiccup here. This is
The
the
other
trouble
thing,
with a live demo, guys. Things can go wrong and things pop up, as much as we tested this again just a couple of hours ago and it was all smooth and swimming, but we here we are with this little hiccup. So tech is still working on it. So bear with us.
and then this is for if you are an influencer pro and you happen to start watching these recordings and you want to understand kind of the process for any vendors that come in, or vendors if you are also an influencer pro and then you will be bringing any new vendors in. Everybody gets 90 days from the day that they join. So for all of us that are in this phase when we don't have a live marketplace, it won't start until I believe the October 15th, which is why you saw on that other screen that Mike showed was like 113 days or whatever days it was giving us. It's because it's taking into account that the marketplace isn't open. So someone that joins and enables their account on October 16th will have 90 days from October 16th or November 1st or vice versa. So just know that it's a 90-day countdown for everybody after we hit October 15th, moving forward from there. Let's see what else.
Mike, I've got another vendor coming through to me, merchant, sorry, coming through to me on WhatsApp that did initially run into this problem. They refreshed their page and it then proceeded to allowing them to do it.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
There you go.
There you go. Great job.
So
See, we're
that's
learning some.
that's a little workaround, guys. We will get that one fixed.
Yeah,
So please don't think we're going to let that keep,
busy.
expecting people to know that. We'll get that through. But what it has done is kicked us to the next screen. So this is where you will enter the credit card. So what we will do is we'll just get Mike to unshare his screen here, so
Okay.
he can enter his credit card details. And then once he's got those, he can reshare his screen and we can show where to click next.
Yeah, and I don't know, Rachel, if you want to explain kind of why they're entering their credit card information here, or I can, either one.
Yeah, I touched on that briefly before, but this credit card that is being entered is the one that will be charged for the commissions and the Shoply fee. Just going back to what I mentioned before in relation to the charges for a particular order. So let's say Stacey has a store. I log on to Shoply and I want to buy her necklaces. I would go to her store. The charge is being charged on her actual on the Shopify merchant, not on the Shoply merchant. So what Shoply then does is per order will charge to the credit card the fee and the commissions for that particular order, and hence the reason why we have to re-enter a credit card on this point of view. So it can be a different credit card if you wanted it to be a different credit card to what you've got on Shopify, but I think for most people, it's been, their business credit card, so it has remained the same.
And this is a major distinction for you guys from the 2.0 kind of ecosystem that is, I think, much better for your guys' advantage is there's no reconciliation. You guys are waiting for checks. And so because all of the customers will be shopping directly on your Shopify store, you guys will get the closeouts, whether it's daily or however Shopify reconciles with you guys. You will get that money directly to you as soon as that reconciliation happens, which means you can then deploy out your products and your orders much faster because you'll have the cash in hand. And the confidence of knowing that is you're remaining the merchant of record. And then after we get notification that that product has gone out, that's when that pull will happen from our end for the commission to initiate that to the affiliate that has sold the products for you. So it's a much better process for you guys as the merchant of records to be able to get that information and get that out to your products much faster.
I think that's a really great point there, Stace, because in Shoply 2.0, a lot of you guys will have been waiting for the 21-day
Hmm.
reconciliation, which was a long time frame. So now those funds are coming through instantaneous, essentially, and then you're just giving to Shoply the fee and the commission. So much more manageable and can and puts the control back in your space. Okay. So Mike has gone through and entered his credit card details. What this will do then is it will take you to where you set your default commission rate. So what you do here is your first order commission and your return order commission. So you'll see that this is percentage. You'll see the little percentage sign there beside. And it's got the up and down arrow boxes over near the 35 there where you can set what that is.
You can change, sorry, I'm just going through some of this stuff here. Can't delete.
So you can manually
Oh,
type
so
like that.
minimum of 10. Okay. So minimum of 10, you can change up and down. If you want to go higher, you can go higher, you can go lower. Just for the sake of, merchants, these percentages are not they're this is above and beyond the 15% that goes to Shoply for transactions. So be mindful when you're putting you're putting your commission rates in here, that you're already 15% in on a sale. So when you're looking at your customer acquisition cost, if your customer acquisition cost is 30-40%, then minus the 15% out, and then use your numbers and work your numbers that way.
So this section here is essentially the old slider scale that was the CSF essentially. So that was a little bit complicated. So we've taken that away and it's just the box here. The next one there is the store location. So this is the, the base region where your store is set. So if you click there, that'll just be a drop-down box of countries. So you can enter your country there. You can either scroll and find it, or you can type, the first couple of letters, and it'll help you find that there. And if you click on that, what it will do next is it'll throw here the section of where you want to show your store visibility. So select regions where customers can discover and buy your products. So this is, Mike can go along here and hit select all. If he wants his products available everywhere, he can just click on North America and it'll populate that. He can click on Europe, or he can just go through and some other countries are still being loaded here, so don't be concerned that there's not, when Mike hits on Europe, not every European country is showing there, so that is still being filled out, but that is where you'll click on those particular boxes to be sure that your store is showing in those particular countries. So what
Okay.
Mike would do there is, once he's happy with that and once he's played around and got that set,
For now, we're just going to go all.
we're just
You
going
go back
to
and change your visibility in your dashboard.
you can change that at any point in time. Like if you go all, and for instance, you get an order from Germany and then you realize that, oh, okay, I no longer want to go there because of shipping costs, or there's something that makes it difficult, then you can just go in and unsubscribe that and click off that, and that will take that visibility away. So if you just hit next there, it comes through and it says, congratulations, you're connected, you're all set. And if you hit continue there, Mike, you can see that the 4 boxes along the top were all greened, showing that you have been through the process successfully, and you can now see the Shoply dashboard. This here will be where you'll get just a snapshot of today's orders, total live products, pending orders, order value, all of that kind of stuff. And
All right, what
and then
happened
what you can do is, if you hit product catalog over here to your left, Mike, what this will do is this will automatically show you all the products that came across. So you can see there that all of those products on Mike's Shopify store have all come across. I would suggest here that just to click on them and have a look, and just make sure that you're happy with how it all looks. It as Stace mentioned before, it is pulling across all the images, all the banners, all the description, and where there was a few little things that we picked up in our testing this morning where it may not have been bringing across a drop down of ingredients, etc. So we're working on making sure that we get that one fixed. But for the better part of it, everything has come across. Pricing, inventory numbers, all of that. Mike, can you just click on one of those? Maybe the crimson, yeah, that one there, and just open it so we can show them what it looks like inside.
It's not clickable.
Oh, okay.
That I can put the checkbox.
Okay. Generally, that there should essentially be hyperlink that you can
It's
click
not
on.
letting me open.
Okay. We will get that one. We will get that one looked at as well. And maybe they're already, it's a very high possibility that they're in there fixing the issue that we picked up this morning. So I'm just getting a message too that one of the other merchants that were trying earlier could not click on their products as well. So we'll make sure that we get that off to the team and make sure we get that fixed, because obviously once that's linked and you click on it, that's where all of the information is. That's where you would go in, and if you want to change your commissions or anything like that, that's where you would go in and change that. Now, just a note here that is important. Obviously, fixing your Shopify store is what will drive your Shoply store. So any changes you want to make sure it's done in Shopify and it'll feed your Shoply store. If it is to do with commissions, however, the commissions are for Shoply only. So that part will have to be changed in your Shoply store only. The other part here that Mike mentioned before about the visibility, you'll see that little black toggle button there with visibility at the top. So let's say if Mike's organic cotton t-shirt here does not have margins because it's printed on demand, and it's not something that he wants to offer on Shoply, he would just click that, and what that will do is that will essentially turn it off in the Shoply store, and it won't be visible in the Shoply store. So that's where you will edit all of that information. But for now, until we get the that hyperlinking happening of all of the products.
Yeah, one thing you guys, just so you know, one known thing that we were working on was if you have, let's say, a t-shirt and it had different options available, like large, small, medium, colors, different variation options. In Shopify, for whatever reason, it was detecting those things, but not populating those options as a toggle. And so I know that they were in the process of fixing to make sure the visibility for those came through. So that might also be the reason why we're not able to pick and click on per products right now, is they may be in the process of fixing those pieces for us. So
Yes.
just know that is also in the process of being fixed as well.
Okay, I'm just sending that off to them now to make sure that they are on that. All right. Thanks for your patience there, guys. Okay, so the only other part that I really wanted to show from here on out, Stacey, is where we could click on that hyperlink to actually show them an example of their store. Can you remind me where that was?
That's a great question. I think it's under dashboard.
Yeah, can you click on dashboard there, Mike? No, maybe it's store settings.
I think it's on the left on dashboard. So go up to, yep, there, and then scroll down. You'll see it. Try store settings.
Yeah. Yes, there we are. So if you see the store URL there, hyperlinked in blue, as you've got your store name, all the details you entered. If you click on that store URL there, what that'll do is that'll load how all of your information has come across. So it'll show you all your images. Mike, can you just see if you can click on one of the products from here for me? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
It's up.
So it's going in there, and you can see that all Mike's sizings and everything have loaded. He will have to go in there, click on one, select the size. It's coming up with all of the description. Now, as of right now, you won't see it because you are actually logged in as a merchant. But when there is a affiliate or a influencer pro logged in, if you scroll just back up the top there for a minute, Mike, under the price here, the $40, that's where you will see the commission information appear. But because you're logged in essentially now as a merchant, that's why it's not appearing. So that's where all of that will load. So that's just a snapshot of everything. Now, is there anything, Mike? I know you've been through this process with us before, and Stace, is there anything that we've missed during this process that you think it's important to highlight before we wrap up and let these guys loose on doing it themselves?
No, I would say the only caveat is we have not gone live to the field. So please don't start sharing this with everybody, because then they will feel like we did not give them the opportunity to go live at the same time. So if you can, just keep this to yourselves for the next 2 hours, I think, until we do a live announcement with them and show them kind of the same exact kind of process we gave you. Probably a little bit less, but that would be fantastic. And then to log back in when you go to your merchants.shoply.com, and then you still have to enter in the redirect code or the web alias or the referral ID. There'll be a blue button that says sign in, and then you'll go there to sign back in. If you just go to merchants.shoply.com, it'll give you a kind of placeholder screen right now, and you won't be able to get to the sign in code. So you do need that web alias to get there. Eventually there will be a much easier path, but right now, because the marketplace isn't open, you can't go in through the shoply.com, which normally is kind of the interface that we will go through. So just know that's kind of a redirect for the moment.
The only thing I would add,
I-
you guys, sorry, I would add,
you
just
go,
keep
Mike.
in mind too, is that we're 30 days out from this public. So this is awesome that we can get in there and get it done, and we can start playing around. We play around with it, learn as much weird or whatever. Make sure that we're going into Shopify, and make sure that your Shopify store is the best it could possibly be, you know, because I think at the end of the day, that's where everything is porting from. So make sure you spend enough time in the Shopify store to really get up to speed on everything that Shopify has to offer, so we can make our marketplace look even that better.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that Craig has mentioned in the chat box here, which is really important, this integration gives you the ability to operate in local currency. And that was one of the biggest flags for a lot of you 2.0 vendors in the beginning, when you were trying to deal with conversions from US dollars to, maybe AUD dollars or Canadian or anything like that. It was, there was always that unpredictability of exchange rates, etc. Now you're operating in local currency, so it's just so much more user friendly. And I know this stepping through this process is essentially, taken us 45 minutes, but that was a very slow, explained step through. I think I know, Amanda, you've been through the process, so can you just add in the Q&A how long it actually took you? But when we first stepped Mike through this process, I think all in all, because it's so user friendly and intuitive and it steps you through it, it was about 10 to 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
Amanda's just posted in here that it took her 6 minutes this morning. She was one of our early test vendors that we had done. So, to go from onboarding from 90 days to 6 minutes, that's a little cheeky, I know, but that's the kind of time frames, I know a lot of you were used to working on. When you came on board, it was, a difficult process, and that has been our main aim, is to make sure this is as easy as possible for you guys. And I think, this just shows that it is very limited clicks. Every little issue that we've come across, the tech team are being worked on. So the other thing I really wanted to mention too, if as you're going through this process, there is a new email that has been set up specifically for merchants, and that is merchantsupport@shoply.com. So the team's on standby for any questions or any issues along the way, to be able to support you. So look, even if you've got any feedback, please don't be scared to give the feedback to that email address. We're going to be making sure that we look at all of that. If there is something in there that you're like, this is great, but I have an idea where I think this could be better. We really are a team. We really are a team, and we really want to foster that relationship to make sure that we're listening to that feedback. So don't be scared to pop that in the email address as well. And if you've got any questions coming off the back of this, just pop them that we haven't answered. I think we've gotten through all the questions in the Q&A, which is great. But if as you're going through the process and something pops up, just email through to that address, and we'll get it sorted for you ASAP. So I think that brings us to the end. Was there anything, Mike or Stacey, you want to add?
No, I just, if there are any issues, if there's things that aren't working for you guys, maybe give it like a couple minutes, before you pop off and throw an email, because sometimes we may be in the system tinkering with things or they're updating. Maybe give it a second, refresh your screen, maybe log out, log back in, and see if it resolved for itself. If it doesn't, when you're sending those issues in, please screenshot if you have anything or record, so we can see exactly what it is that you're seeing. In terms of transition period, if you have any current products on the old Shoply 1.0 or 2.0, that will stay live all the way through October 15th. So commission, fulfillment, everything will still continue to work through the 15th off our old site. And then as soon as the marketplace opens, there will be a date that we cut away and shut down the 2.0 site and then cut all the way completely over to 3.0. But we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to transition their subscriptions. You guys get all your products up, everything. If there's a monthly recurring order, all of that stuff gets transitioned and you don't lose any business. So we will take that as we go. If there needs to be any kind of adjustment in times or dates, we will definitely evaluate that as we're going. But no, you will have to pay out iPayout if or wallets if you had that before. That will still continue to be the way that you get paid from the old system. And then the new system, you get paid directly from, like we said, when they shop. So there won't be an iPayout account that you'll get paid from us for the per product purchases that the customers are making. The other good thing is that the customers are going to be going directly through their Shop Pay portals when they check out of Shopify. And so the great thing about that is they can then utilize any credit card, they can utilize a payment plan if they want to do an installments. So all of those things are available to them, as well as your shipping profiles that you set up in Shopify. So it's all of those things will then get ported directly over for you to make hopefully that checkout process very seamless for the customer as well.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end. As we said, any questions, reach out to merchant support. Once again, thank you for your patience during this process. We absolutely appreciate it and enjoy the process. Thanks, guys.
Bye.